This is the QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studio on Caraba Avenue, and I am Andy Kerma. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. President Adama Barrow inaugurated a new health center at Badibu, Salikenya in the North Bank region on Tuesday, the latest in several serving rural communities. A security vehicle which was part of an advanced team on the president's tour was involved in an accident on Tuesday which left one police officer dead and others injured. The saga of accusation and counter-accusation between the Medicines Control Agency and Innovarex shows no sign of abating. Today, May 22nd, is observed as the International Day for Biological Diversity, IDB, to raise awareness and understanding of biodiversity issues. In sports news, the Gambia senior men's football team have a new coach, Johnny McKinstry, the former Uganda, Rwanda and Sierra Leone head coach. Those were the headlines, now the news in detail. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV Nightly News. President Adama Barrow officially opened a new health center at Badibu, Salikenya in the North Bank region on Tuesday. It is one of several the government has built in rural communities to improve people's access to quality health care. QTV's Momodu Laminchoy is with the president's tour party and he files this report.
This health center at Salikenya is the fourth to be inaugurated by President Barrow in less than a week, with all of them located in some of the remotest places in the Gambia. Residents of Central Badibu warmly welcome President Barrow as he arrives to officially open a modern health center built and equipped to provide them with quality healthcare services. As the sun sets, modernity shines on this new health center, inspiring hope and confidence in these Badibu residents. The atmosphere is one of excitement as President Barrow declares the health center operational. For the residents of this isolated community, the inauguration marks the culmination of years of anticipation and longing for accessible quality healthcare services.
In the face of evolving health challenges, including the rise in communicable diseases, these facilities serve as a vital resource in our collective efforts to mitigate their impact and promote public health. The health facilities will serve all the communities that can access them.
Within the walls of the health center lie modern medical tools previously probably unimaginable to the villages, facilities that promise to revolutionize healthcare delivery in the region. From basic primary care to specialized treatments, the center will cater to diverse medical needs of the community.
My government is committed to advancing the health sector through strategic investments and partnerships, revitalizing, expanding and upgrading existing health facilities nationwide, particularly in underserved areas, while constructing new ones for those with limited access.
The health center is named after Sheriff Mustafa Diba, a prominent son of Badibu and a distinguished figure in the history of Gambia's politics. Born in Salikenya and as one of the founding fathers of the PPP, the late Sheriff Mustafa Diba, a former lawmaker, was the first Minister for Local Government and later became the first Vice President in the First Republic. Omar Diba, a family member, speaks on behalf of the Diba family.
The
family of Sheriff Mustafa Diba is extending its thanks to you, President Adama Barrow, for not forgetting him. We are aware that you recognize the service of Gambians who worked for this country. Now, I would like to remind people that it is our responsibility to take care of the health center, given the amount of investment in it by government. The Sheriff Mustafa Diba Health Center is set to provide healthcare services to an estimated more than 14,000 people in Salikenya and the surrounding communities. The National Assembly member for Central Badibu, Suleiman Saho, joins his constituents to recognize and thank President Barrow's government for bringing to their doorsteps such a high-quality health facility to cater for the good health and well-being of everyone in Central Badibu. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News, reporting from the North Bank region.
A security vehicle which was part of an advance team on the President's tour was involved in an accident on Tuesday, which left one police officer dead and others injured. President Adama Barrow visited the accident site and offered condolences to the family of deceased and called for caution in the traffic for the safety of users. Mohamed Lamin Choi has more on this story.
The security officers were on their way as part of President Barrow's advanced security detail on his tour when their vehicle got involved in an accident with Jibas vehicles around Pakalending Bridge. Lance Corporal Mikai Jallo lost his life in the accident, while the rest of his colleagues were rushed to Summer Hospital. 13 other victims of the accident were later referred to the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital for further treatment. The Jibas team involved in this accident are reported to have been on hot and continued their duties on the National Population Census. A few moments after the accident, President Barrow arrived at the scene where he prayed for the deceased and offered condolences to the bereaved family.
We will still advise the drivers to be very cautious on the road, to apply the speed limit. I think that's the most important thing. But we will still continue. We will pray for the one that lost his life, for Allah to admit him into Jannah till Firdaus. We advise the rest also to be driving carefully. We still remain strong and continue. This is national duty. It's unfortunate that it have happened. We are very heavy heart about it. We are not the least happy, but we have to accept it because we are all Muslims and Christians. We have to have faith. Yeah, thank you.
This accident is the second since Thursday involving security personnel when 4 fire officers from the State Guards were involved in an accident with a lorry just before Mayok in Fonyi. They were all transported to Buyam Hospital while 2 of them were in critical condition. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News, reporting from the North Bank region.
Following his appearance on an online Gambia TV program in which Dr. Ismail Baji, CEO of Innovarex Global Health, made a series of allegations against officials of the medicines control agencies, including attempts to kick him out of business, the executive director of the MCA, Dr. Esa Marena, has responded with a rebuttal and counter-accusations of dishonesty and disregard for Gambian law governing importation of medicines. More in this report by Ansumana Eso Nyasi.
This isn't the first time the medicines regulatory body and Dr. Baji's Innovarex Global Health Company have been embroiled in a dispute. Following a similar saga in February this year, when the private health service provider was temporarily closed following the intervention of the Medicine Control Agency. Through his various social media handles and in several media engagements, the most recent of which was on the Gis Gis Current Affairs show on the Fatu Network, Dr. Ismail Baji repeatedly accused officials of the Medicines Control Agency of targeting his business. However, Esa Marena, the executive director of the Medicines Control Agency, has refuted the allegations. He alleges in turn that Innovarex has since its inception flouted importation laws by not registering its imported medicines with the MCA at the point of entry. Further alleging that despite approval by the American FDA, over 80% of the medicines imported by Innovarex are from non-stringent regulatory authorities which are required to register with the MCA by Gambian law.
Up till this point in time, there is no single medicinal product that has been registered by Innovarex Global. And they have been importing products since their inception. Clearly means they've been violating the laws of the country. Secondly, their medicines, when they import them into this country, they don't pass through MCA. And the law says any medicine you are importing into this country, Medicines Control Agency must give you import clearance permit before it is released at the port of entry. Innovarix Global, they've never been following that.
Furthermore, Mr. Marina alleges the Innovarx CEO uses disreputable means to import medicines into the country, adding that he's well aware of what the importation laws are, having done his internship with the MCA during which he was trained on the procedures for importing medicine into the country.
I heard from the GIS try to belittle the laws of the country, saying someone who is graduated in America, you practice in America 10 years, why would Gambia question that person to come and do internship or exams in the Gambia? But what those people fail to understand, all across the world, when you move from one jurisdiction to another, there are exams you go through, because they have to test your professionalism, your knowledge, your competence, everything, whether it's okay for you to practice on their market.
Among other things, Mr. Marina also refuted claims he alleged were made by Dr. Baji on the Gis show that some senior officials at the MCA are determined to take him out of business in an attempt to favor foreign competitors and businesses which they have a relationship. With the latest consignment of medicines impounded at the airport by MCA officials, Executive Director Marina says until all registration requirements are satisfied, the medicines won't be released. QTV had contacted Dr. Ismail Baji to get his reaction to the allegations by the MCA. However, at the time of this report, we did not receive a formal reaction from him, though he promised to send one. Innovarx Global Health is a private health company founded by Gambian-American Dr. Ismail Baji in 2019. In the interest of all concerned, it is hoped that this saga will be resolved soon. Ansmane Nyasi for KTV News.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more local, international and sports news stories. Do stay tuned.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. "5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected, juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. Bright Stars Entertainment, Gambia, one of the country's best-loved and most popular comedy troupes, today officially signed up to be brand ambassadors of QCell Gambia, the country's most innovative GSM operator, and Q Money at the QCell headquarters. Julden Jai reports.
QCell, the most innovative GSM operator in the Gambia, has inked a deal with the country's brightest and best entertainment comedy and music group, Bright Stars Entertainment Gambia. Ami Cisse, head of marketing at QCell, expressed optimism and looks forward to a fruitful partnership with the comedy group, who have made a name for themselves in the entertainment industry over the years. She went ahead to highlight what QCell has done to live up to its Sunyubus concept since its inception in 2009.
We believe in the Gambian dream, and our CEO is a living testament of that. He believes that you can be successful living in Gambia, being a Gambian, and I think for you young men, he is somebody that you should look up to. Since we started, we had one motto, which was to support Gambian initiatives and to make sure that we bring the best technologies in this market.
Aliu Badaranjai, head of Q Money, is equally optimistic about a successful and fruitful partnership with Bright Stars Entertainment Gambia.
We want to make sure that every Gambian, wherever you are, you have access to safe, reliable financial services. But that means that trust has to be a key factor there. So we're hoping that with your entertaining messages where you can blend entertainment with an important message, I think there's nobody better than Bright Stars who can help us with this.
Mohamed Jah, the Q Group chairman, says the Gambia needs talent and content, and that Q Group believes that Gambians have what it takes to take this country to another level.
When you want to go to the world stage, you have to up your game all the time. Don't only look at what is happening in Gambia, but look at what is happening in the sub-region, look at what is happening in Africa, in the other parts of the world. And for us at Q Group, our mission is to be a local company, but give international standards. And that's why we are able to go to other countries. Today, we have every minister who goes to Sierra Leone visits QCell Sierra Leone and sees what we are doing, there. And I'm sure when we are just building our new headquarters there, we'll be the first, to build a headquarters. So we'll be inaugurating it very soon, and I hope that Ami will put you part of the delegation. You also go and show Sierra Leoneans what you can do.
Pamudu Yafa and Hassan Job, President and Secretary at Bright Stars Entertainment respectively, thank QCell and says they are excited about the prospects of collaborating with QCell, and they look forward to work together in bringing laughter, music, development and a fresh perspective to the telecommunications industry.
We want to elevate human suffering. And if you look at it, QCell have been doing it for quite a while now in the area of health, education and sports. Entertainment, wah nopi. We would make sure we filter down to the Gambian buneka last from Basse to Nyamanari to Koina. This is Sunyu Boss.
We appreciate you, and then you was fancy that this is just the beginning. There are different types of cells. We know that. We have other crappy cells there. But the only 3 important cells we have, as far as the human mind is concerned, as far as the human heart is concerned, socially, economically, red blood cell, white blood cell, and Q cell.
This latest collaboration is yet another sign of the Q Group delivering on its Sunyobos concept. In January 2024, QCell Gambia was unveiled as the official GSM partner of the national football teams, the Scorpions, for the 2023 African Cup of Nations, with a sponsorship package of over $20,250,000. This latest deal with Bright Stars Entertainment Gambia is for 2 years, and all parties are looking forward to the joining of forces by 2 of the most innovative entities in the Gambia.
We innovate, others follow when we print, they copy, photocopy.
For QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
Indeed, congratulations to Bright Stars Gambia. During the periods when the ferry service was out of service, Banjul Wharf is usually a bustling hub of activity, with boats transporting people wishing to cross. However, with the ferry back in operation, business at the wharf is somewhat quieter. Loli M. Kamara visited the site and filed this report.
In recent days, the wharf has become less busy due to the ferry being operational. According to the traders on the boat landing site, this has led to a decrease in business for them. In the absence of ferries, small boats become a popular alternative to cross the river. These small boats, operated by local fishermen, provide a vital lifeline for those who need to travel across the river for work or other commitments. Mariama Toure, a passenger, explained her reasons for still using the boats, even the ferry is back in service.
The
ferry doesn't wait for us to pack our stuff inside. Because I sell mangoes and the offloading takes time. Because of that, I prefer using the small boats. Also, the fare is cheaper than on the ferry. On the ferry, the ticket is $25 per basket. And with the boat, I can just pay $100, including my fare. However, relying on these small boats for transportation is not without its challenges. The boats can only hold a limited number of passengers, so people often have to wait in long lines to get on board. The journey across the river can also be rough and unpredictable, especially during the rainy season. Mamadou Jam, a boat owner, explains.
Tefes bi gis nañ ko nim démé waye téréwul sa buñ xeyé dinañ ñëw def li ñu war aussi c'est que dañu yori njabot tamit.
We have seen the situation at the site. With the ferry back in action, despite that, we still come and do something because we have families to feed, and only can we earn something. We don't steal, but we will thank God that even though the ferry is back operating, we also continue to walk. Not everybody is comfortable using the boat, so the ferry has to be working.
Despite the challenges, the small boats have become an integral part of daily life for those living near the wharf. They provide a sense of community as people from different backgrounds and walks of life come together on the boats, sharing stories and experiences. As the sun sets over the Banjul wharf, the small boats continue to move back and forth, connecting people and bridging the gap between the two sides of the river. And although the wharf may be less busy than it once was, the small boats and the people who depend on them keep the spirit of the place alive. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
Next up, we have international news. Today, May 22nd, is observed as International Day for Biological Diversity, IDB, to raise awareness and understanding of biodiversity issues. This year's theme, Be Part of the Plan, calls on everyone to support the implementation of the coming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. Lena E. Iguenyuba reports.
Biological diversity or biodiversity refers to the vast array of life forms on Earth, from genes to entire ecosystems. It includes the variety of plants, animals, microorganisms, genetic differences within species, and ecosystems like lakes, forests, deserts, and agricultural landscapes. In December 2022, the global community adopted the Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, aiming to halt and reverse nature loss by 2050. This year's theme, Be Part of the Plan, encourages governments, indigenous communities, NGOs, lawmakers, businesses, and individuals to support this ambitious plan. Biodiversity is crucial for human survival, providing food, fuels, shelter, medicine, and ecosystem services like pollination, climate regulation, water purification, and pest control. Its value extends beyond known benefits, potentially offering new discoveries and services in the future. An FAO report from 2015, titled The Gambia's Biodiversity for Food and Agriculture, states, the Gambia is rich in genetic, species, and ecosystem variety. In fact, many different species of animals, plants, fungi, and microorganisms inhabit this world. This biological diversity is critical to our survival. This year's celebration aims to build momentum for the 16th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the Convention on Biological Diversity, COP16, scheduled for October 21st to November 1st, 2024 in Colombia. Reporting for KTV News, I am Lena E. Gwenyuba.
Now, on to some sports news. The Gambia Football Federation have confirmed the appointment of Jonathan McKinstry as the head coach of the Gambia national football team, succeeding Belgian coach Tom Sianfier. Amadou Tamba has more on the appointment.
The Ministry of Youth and Sports, through the National Sports Council, collaborated with the Gambia Football Federation's Technical and Development Committee to shortlist and interview 5 coaches from 90 applicants. Mr. McKinstry, age 38, a former Rwanda, Uganda and Sierra Leone boss, has accepted the offer and will sign a 2-year deal effective July 1st, 2024, replacing Belgian coach Tom Sandfeld, who resigned after the Scorpions' elimination at the group stage of the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire. Jonathan McKinstry holds a UEFA Pro license and in August 2014 took Sierra Leone to their highest ever FIFA World Ranking, 50th in the world and 7th in Africa. In 2015, he was voted CECAFA Cup 2015 Coach of the Tournament after his Rwanda team finished second before he won the CECAFA Cup in 2019 with Uganda. McKinstry has a track record of raising performance at elite level by developing teams, players and staff in Africa, Asia and Europe. His work was visible at Kenyan club giants Gor Mahia. Despite inheriting a club under a FIFA transfer ban and struggling to get enough players to conduct effective training sessions, McKinstry went on to win the Kenyan Premier League title and the FKF Charity Seal in his first year with the club. He has been tasked with qualifying the Scorpions of the Gambia for the African Cup of Nations, Morocco 2025. He is also tasked with monitoring the progress of Gambia's foreign-based players and providing regular updates to the Gambia Football Federation, as well as scouting players for inclusion in the national teams. He will also provide coaching lessons for the Gambia's national coaches. McKinstry will take charge of his first game against the Seychelles on June the 7th in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers before facing Gabon 3 days later. Amadou Tamba for QTV News.
In other sports news, reigning champions of the WAFU A-Zone in the girls under-15 division of the African Schools Football Championship, the Gambia are eager to emulate their zonal success at the upcoming CAF African Schools Football Championship Continental Finals 2024. Amadou Tamba tells us more.
The much-anticipated finals of the innovative youth football competition is already underway at Zanzibar's Aman Stadium between the 21st to the 24th of May, featuring boys and girls zonal winners, competing for continental honors over 4 days. Speaking to CAF Online on arrival in Zanzibar, the Gambia's coach Maria Masuso said the team was looking forward to flying the flag against the best in Africa. We are representing the Gambia. This is a huge honor for me as a coach, as well as our players and the entire technical team. It is something we do not take for granted because putting on this jersey means we are representing our people and their hopes, said Coach Suso. The African Schools Football Championship Continental Finals draw took place on the Sunday, 19th May, where all teams, including the Gambia, were drawn into their respective groups. The Gambia was drawn in Group B with Togo, South Africa and Uganda. We are looking forward to competing against the best. The draw will allow us to plan accordingly. The girls are determined to do well, and they have been working hard ahead of this trip. We know it will not be easy against the best teams on the continent, concluded Coach Suso. However, Coach Maria Masuso's girls couldn't get their campaign off to the flying start they hoped for when they began their campaign this morning against Togo as the game ended goalless. The CAF African Schools Football Championship is an African schools competition featuring over 44 African countries with over 800,000 participants of boys and girls under the age of 15. For QTV News, Amadou Tamba.
The Gambia's poor start continued when they lost 1-0 to South Africa earlier today. Well, that's all we have for you in this bulletin. Join us tomorrow at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.